Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings for Monday, June 18th. We've got 9 games tonight on the main slate. There is a game, I think it's like a makeup game or something between the Nationals and Yankees. That game's not on the main slate, so 9 games tonight. With decent pitching options, got Gerrit Cole, Trevor Bauer, and pretty good matchups against the Rays and White Sox. And then Jacob deGrom, another stud on this slate, has to pitch in Coors Field. Not sure if we're going to be on deGrom here, but definitely Cole and Bauer, really intriguing plays. Then you got mid-tier plays. You got Greinke, who's kind of cheap at 8,700. You got Mikolas at 8,300 versus the Phillies. Decent pitching options on this 9-game slate. Definitely bad pitchers on this slate as well. And with the Coors Field game, there's going to be bats we want to pay up for. But before we do get started looking at pitcher and bats for today, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video. I really appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, be sure you do click that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But yeah, pitcher today, the 3 studs are Cole, Bauer, and Jacob deGrom. I'm really focused on Cole and Bauer here. I don't have a ton of interest in Jacob deGrom. I just really don't pay for studs in Coors Field, especially deGrom when he's 11-2. I don't think that's enough of a discount to where I would want to go down to him from like Bauer or Cole. Cole and Bauer just have such good matchups here. Gerrit Cole gets the Rays at home. The Rays are a terrible offense. They strike out a ton. Same with the White Sox. Trevor Bauer gets to face the White Sox at home, and the White Sox strike out a lot as well, and they're not a good offense. Just looking at these two guys, definitely my favorite here is Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's just been pitching so good lately. He's racked up 10 or more strikeouts in 4 straight games, 13 Ks against Houston, 11 strikeouts against Minnesota, 12 Ks against Detroit. And when he did face this White Sox team in his last start, had 12 strikeouts in that game, only allowed 3 runs, pitched 7 2/3 inning. Bauer's going to pitch deep into games every start. He's thrown over 100 pitches every start. And you know the strikeouts are going to be there. You just look at the Ks. I know Bauer's like top in the league when it comes to like K per 9. Dude just racks up a ton of strikeouts. He's got swing and miss stuff, has a great curveball. Just really like Trevor Bauer here. He's done really well against the White Sox in the past. In past years, he's done well against them when he faced them once this year. I think he's a great play here. It's going to be hard to, like, ownership-wise, I don't know who's going to be higher owned. I feel like it might be Gerrit Cole just because he's like the stud. He's the top option, but I think Bauer could definitely outscore Gerrit Cole, and I do prefer Bauer on this slate. Even when they're similarly priced, I think Bauer could possibly outscore Cole. So I'm going with him as my SP1. Then SP2, I really like Mikolas here, 8,300. I was on him in his last start versus the Padres. Sort of had a mediocre outing, only put up like 13.9 DK points versus the Padres. Got 5 strikeouts, 6 innings, 6 hits, and 3 runs allowed to the Padres. That was obviously a great matchup, and Mikolas didn't really come through. But he does get another really good matchup here versus a Phillies team that does strike out a lot. I am recording this video pretty early Sunday night. We don't have a lot of games like implied run totals. A lot of games are offline here. But this is one of the games that we do have some Vegas information for. Right now, the Phillies have a 4.2 implied run total on this slate. I think Mikolas, a good SP2 option here at 8,300 that you can pair with Cole, that you can pair with Bauer, just whichever stud you want to pay up for. Still leaves you 3,600 remaining per player. You can definitely work around that. We got some cheap bats that are in Coors Field today. The Mets are in Coors Field, so the Mets are going to be really underpriced, especially with how they've been hitting. But this could definitely be a spot where the Mets start to hit the ball well. Going to Coors Field could definitely help them out. There's so much value in this Mets lineup today in Coors Field, so we're definitely going to be able to go there. That allows us to pay up for pitcher. And I think paying up for one of these two guys, Cole or Bauer, is something you're going to want to do today. So I like Bauer and Mikolas as my 2 pitchers. The other SP2s on the slate you could consider, I think you go to Greinke at 8,700. Greinke just seems a little bit underpriced here versus the Angels team. Not a great matchup, but with that price tag, I think Greinke is definitely an option here. Caleb Smith is listed in the player pool versus the Giants, but we don't really know who's going to pitch for the Giants yet. It looks like it is going to be Smith, so you could definitely go to Caleb Smith here at 7,800. It looks like on June 14th, he got placed on the bereavement list. It looked like he was going to be out for 3 games, so I think he's going to be coming back. Should be making a start here. Caleb Smith, 7,800, a guy that you could consider if you're going down this cheap. Nick Pivetta at 7,300, a guy that's shown a lot of strikeout upside this year. Another guy you could consider. And I think that is it for the pitchers I'm really on this slate. SP2, it's really Greinke, Mikolas, Caleb Smith, and Nick Pivetta. Those are kind of the 4 options that really catch my eye in that mid-tier. But now we will talk about the bats for today. At first base, there's a cheap option I like here. I did mention the Mets. They're a ton of value in this lineup since they're in Coors Field and they're underpriced. So Wilmer Flores getting to face a lefty here in Coors Field at 3,600. I just feel like it's too cheap. Wilmer Flores, a guy that's always hit lefties well, and going to Coors Field is definitely going to help him out here. Like I said, I love the Mets, love Wilmer here, love a lot of these righties that are dirt cheap. We'll talk about Rosario, projected at leadoff for only 2,800. I think he's a great value play. You got Todd Frazier at 4,400, another guy you could consider. Wilmer's 3,600, some good value there as well. Anderson's not really a pitcher I like to pick on, not really a pitcher I think that is very bad, but going to Coors Field for these Mets bats, I'm going to want to target them here. So I like Flores, 3,600. You can play Flores at first base or third base, and I think he is a great value option there. Then at third base, another cheap play I like here. I put Wilmer first base because there's a third base play I like. 3,900, Mike Moustakas, I think is a good value option here versus Bartolo Colon. We're definitely going to want to pick on Bartolo Colon. I know it's been really hot in Kansas City these last few games. We don't really have any weather information, at least on Fantasy Labs right now. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be, but if it's hot again, you're definitely going to want to load up on this game. We saw the Astros go into KC and just put up a ton of runs. That heat, that humidity is definitely going to favor the hitters. So I think the Royals are definitely in play here versus Cologne. I think the Rangers on the other side of that game versus Ian Kennedy, another team you could look to. I do like this game for sort of a game stack, especially the Royals. Bartolo Colon's just not a guy I believe in. Really like Moustakas here. Cheap option at 3,900 you can consider at third base if you're looking to go cheap at that position. Then my final play is going to be at shortstop. I mentioned Ahmed Rosario. I think he's just too good of a value today. 2,800, should be leading off in Coors Field for the Mets. He's in the projected lineup and he is projected lead off. He's been leading off lately versus lefties. Now this is a guy that I don't think is like a terrific hitter by any means, but he does have a little bit of pop. He's got speed. He's got 4 home runs in the year. Going to Coors Field, that big outfield, if he hits a ball in the gap, Rosario definitely has opportunity to turn a ball in the gap into a double or triple with how fast he is. If he gets on base, like if he gets walked, if he singles, has opportunity to steal second, steal third because he's got some speed. Just really like Rosario here. If he's batting like 8th or 9th, I won't have a ton of interest, but since he's in the projected lineup leading off, and if he does lead off, just too good of a value in my opinion. Love Rosario at shortstop for 2,800 if you're looking to go that cheap. Paying up for Trevor Bauer, you're kind of going to want cheap bats, at least to find cheap bats, and that's where Rosario and Flores, 2 really cheap options in Coors Field. I think they are great plays today. But yeah, guys, these are my 5 plays for this 9-game main slate. Trevor Bauer, Mikolas, Wilmer Flores, Mike Moustakas, and Ahmed Rosario. Now if we want to look at stacks and BVP plays before we do get out of here. So stacks for me, obviously the Mets are a team I kind of look to today for value. With how cheap their hitters are, with me wanting to pay up at pitcher, kind of look to the Mets. There's cheap options in this Royals-Rangers game. Kind of from both sides, you can look to the value here, especially like Moustakas, Alex Gordon maybe, even Whit Merrifield. Just a lot of value in the Royals lineup versus Cologne. A lot of value in the Rangers lineup versus Ian Kennedy as well. 2 pretty bad pitchers, so definitely a game I'm stacking up. And then the Mets, a team I really want to look to for value. Even though I'm not playing DeGrom, I doubt I'm really going to pick on him. So I'm kind of not on the Rockies today, just focused on the Mets in that Coors Field game. And I think that it's really it for the stacks, the teams that I'm really looking to target today. So now we will move on to BVP plays before we do get out of here. There are a lot of BVP plays for it to be a 9-game slate, so I'll just cover the ones that I see with a decent sample. A couple of these Dodgers have hit Tyler Chatwood well. Grandal is 6 for 11 with the home run. Matt Kemp is 6 for 17 with the home run. And Jock Peterson, 5 for 11 with the home run. Carlos Gomez, only Ray that's hit Cole well. Gomez, 5 for 12 versus Gerrit Cole. A couple of these Royals at least have hit Cologne well. Alcides Escobar, 4 for 10, and Alex Gordon, 4 for 13 with the home run. And then the 2 Rockies that have hit DeGrom well are Desmond and Cargo. Desmond, 5 for 16 with the home run, and Cargo, 3 for 10 with the home run. And then a couple of these these Angels have really hit Zach Greinke well. He's kind of gotten hit well by the Angels. Pujols, 10 for 29 versus Greinke. Mike Trout, 5 for 13. Justin Upton's 10 for 29 as well, but with 2 home runs. And then Luis Valbuena, 11 for 26 with the home run versus Greinke. And then the pitchers that have done well and struggled. The pitchers that have done well, I talked about Bauer earlier. He's done well against this White Sox team. White Sox are only hitting him for a 196 average through 112 at-bats, only 22 hits and a home run through those 112 at-bats. Ian Kennedy has done well against the Rangers. Rangers are only hitting him for a 181 average through 83 at-bats. And then lastly, Jacob deGrom has done well against the Rockies. Rockies have only hit deGrom for a 191 average through 94 ABs. The pitcher that has done poorly on this main slate is Taylor Chatwood. He has struggled against the Dodgers in the past. Dodgers have hit him for a 287 average through 87 ABs. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it for BVP and PVB on this main slate. Pretty much it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe before you do get out of here. And if you have any questions, like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_go, or feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.